What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and I wanted to take just a moment out of your day to talk to you all about a missing woman by the name of Carlee Russell. Carlee is a 25-year-old woman who went missing in Alabama on Thursday night after she called 911 to report that a toddler was just randomly by themselves wandering on the side of the road. Now, after calling 911, Carlee called her sister-in-law and was on the phone with her sister-in-law as she got out of the vehicle to approach the child. The sister-in-law heard Carlee trying to talk to the child, but she never heard anyone talk back. And then her sister-in-law heard a scream, and the phone call ended. And when I say the phone call ended, the phone call, I believe, was still going, but she no longer heard anything but the sounds of traffic. Now, this story is really odd. And it stuck out to me, for one, because one of the first things that came to my mind was, did Carlee and possibly this child get hit by a vehicle while she was out there trying to save this kid, and maybe someone tried to get rid of the evidence that ever happened? And the reason why that came to my mind is because not too far away from me recently, someone actually got out of their vehicle to save a dog that was wandering along the highway, and then they got struck by a vehicle and killed. So that's I guess that's the main reason why that popped up in my head at the beginning as soon as I looked into this case. But there's no evidence of that. And we now have video of when Carlee pulled over. We don't know what happened afterwards because the video cuts off. And I'll show you this video. But Carlee's watch, her wig, and her phone were left behind. Now, I believe that you probably would be able to track Carlee, of course, using her phone, but probably also her watch. So the fact that her watch was left behind, that is really worrisome for me. I mean, the phone is already worrisome enough, but then when you think about the watch, if she was someone that was wearing the watch or usually wears her watch, then that would mean someone would have had to taken it off, knowing that they did not want to be tracked. Same thing, I guess you could say, for the cell phone. Now, one thing I do know is that these human traffickers, they have been known to use little kids as bait. That's how they prey on women. They know that just really anyone in general, you usually have a soft spot for kids, but especially women. If you want to catch a woman, you don't use a worm like you use for fish, you use a child. And they play on women's emotions by putting children in vulnerable positions, so a woman would then put herself in a vulnerable position to try to save that child or try to get that child to safety, and in the process, these women are getting snatched up. About a week or so ago, I was on the road heading to Atlanta, and I saw a couple of baby strollers on the side of the road. And I didn't take the highway, I took the back roads because I like taking the back roads when I travel. And I noticed that along the way, there were some strollers, I guess, discarded on the side of the road. Now, I'm not saying that this is anything, but there are stories out there that even empty strollers, even people putting dolls inside of strollers, those are being used as bait to kidnap people. More specifically, to kidnap women. And it's something that's really sad because even myself, like, I'm the type of person, if I see something going wrong, I'll say something. If I see a situation where I could help, I'll try to help. But even people like me and people who are better than me out there, they're now getting discouraged to help because of things like this. You know, if you see a child wandering on the side of the road, of course your natural reaction would be to pull over to try to help that kid. But in the process, people are putting their lives in danger and their safety in danger. And now that's going to be in people's minds. You know, now maybe there will be a kid on the side of the road that needs help, and no one's going to want to pull over because no one wants to get kidnapped. No one wants to go missing because they had a soft spot in their heart for a child that may be in danger. And the same thing goes for these baby strollers that seem to just be casually waiting on the side of the back roads all across America. What is really going on here? It's really scary. But I want you all to get a better understanding of what is happening in this case. I'm going to go ahead and roll this clip, and then I'll be back with more thoughts.
The search continues for 25-year-old Carlee Russell.
Russell disappeared Thursday night in Hoover. She was actually on her way home from work. She called 911 around 9:30 last night because she said she wanted to report that she had seen a toddler walking on the side of I-459 southbound. And she then called family members, sharing that same information with them. But while she was on the phone, they lost contact with her. However, the line remained open. ABC 3340's Valerie Bell is on this story. Valerie, police say they did not get any other calls about someone missing a small child. What's going on?
Pam, everyone is trying to figure out what happened to 25-year-old Carlee Russell. Police are investigating every tip they get. Family and friends have been out searching, hoping for her safe return. Carlee Russell was just 10 minutes away from home. The 25-year-old was coming from work when she stopped along 459 South near exit 10.
She's just a genuine good person, which is why she could not leave that child on the side of the road.
Hoover police were already on their way. When they arrived, there was no toddler and no Carlee Russell. But they did find Russell's vehicle, phone, and belongings.
A single witness has reported possibly seeing a gray vehicle with a light-complected male standing outside of Carlee's vehicle, but we have no further information on that individual or the vehicle at this time.
Russell's parents say it's unlike her to disappear. They tell us she lives at home and calls them often, even sharing her location on her phone with them.
She's always happy and bubbly.
Also currently enrolled in nursing school.
She has a promising future. She's a sweetheart.
Carlos and Talitha Russell are searching for their daughter and for answers.
Words can't express it. She's my life. She's my baby girl. She's our baby girl. Irreplaceable.
Until about 1 o'clock, and then we'll have more information.
The community came out to help look.
God, I bless every officer that touches this case, Lord God.
Praying, handing out flyers, and offering support.
It's just heavy on my heart and just wanted to be out here to help the family.
I saw the red car with all the flashers.
Hoover police say no information is too small in this investigation.
We currently are investigating every possibility in this case. We're certainly leaving nothing off the table.
Now, anyone with any information at all is asked to call investigators or Crime Stoppers. An anonymous donor is offering $20,000 for Russell's safe return. Crime Stoppers is offering an additional $5,000. Pam?
So luckily, there is some traffic cam footage that does confirm that Carlee did pull over to the side of the road in that area, and she did call police. And it's not like police took an entire day to respond. I'm not sure of the approximate respond time at this moment. I have to dig into this case a little bit more, but I'm sure they were there within minutes. I don't think it took them that long, and Carlee was already gone without a trace. Now, of course, according to her sister-in-law, there was a scream. But you know, in the traffic cam footage that we get to see, we don't necessarily see like another car pulling up to kidnap Carlee. It's really a mystery as to what has happened. Now, I know online, the true crime people, they're already going crazy. The web sleuths are already going crazy. You're going to be looking at this traffic cam footage for days on end, and people are going to say, wait, there's a shadow there. There's a light here. There's this, there's that. We can't necessarily confirm any of that right now. But I am curious as to what happens after this traffic cam footage ends, because what happens when the police get there? As we can see, there is a wooded area. This doesn't seem, it's a busy road, but it's not as wide of a highway as I was expecting when I heard the story. There's a wooded area, and I believe behind the wooded area there are homes. So where someone would have come from in order to grab Carlee, I don't know. Part of me, when you're approaching the story and when you're thinking about it, you would assume that there must be a car on the road that comes along and probably snatches her up. But it almost seems as if that's not the case, because we don't necessarily see a car in the traffic cam footage that would have done that. But then again, who knows? I'm not here to deny that that could have happened, but it almost seems as if someone may have come out the woods and grabbed Carlee. Now, would they have taken her and this child to their home that's behind the wooded area? I don't know. Was this even a child that Carlee saw? People are already speculating that it could have been a dwarf or a midget or whatever the politically correct term is for little people these days. I mean, anything is possible. Anything is possible. What we do know, there are no reports of a missing child in the area. So if it was a child on the side of the road, no one has reported that their child is missing. So who would that child belong to? That's another key piece of information. I mean, when trying to figure out what actually happened here, trying to figure out who this child belongs to would be a top priority. But then again, if these are traffickers, they probably have someone's stolen kid that they're using as bait. You never really know when it comes to these type of situations. But it seems as if something weird is going on here for sure. And it does not seem like something that is personal. I don't know what Carlee has going on in her personal life. Usually 9 times out of 10, when someone gets killed or kidnapped, pretty often it's because someone they know is involved. It happens all the time. Usually it's someone you know or you're associated with. Most of the time it's not a stranger. But in this situation, it doesn't seem like something that would be targeted, because it's like whoever did this would have no way of knowing that Carlee would be the one that pulls over to help the kid. So I am, I really can't say what I think happened here, because obviously none of us know. But usually you have things to work with. You could look at clues about the person's life and what type of relationships they had going on, what's going on with their friends. But here, it seems like this is totally random. That whatever happened to Carlee was totally random, which is going to make it that much harder to figure out what happened to her, because it's not like you could focus in or hone in on certain people as suspects or anything like that. It seems like a completely random act. It seems like someone just randomly decided they were going to use kid as bait on the side of the road and snatch up whoever stopped. And that is absolutely horrifying to think of. But whatever happened to her had to happen really quickly. And judging by the look of this area, it basically had to happen right in front of people who were driving past. Sure, maybe Carlee was lured a little further into the woods, but that's not a dense wooded area. It's a very small area. I do not believe for 1 second that Carlee is lost somewhere in the woods. There are search parties, and I do believe that if Carlee was in those woods, she probably would have been found by now. It's not a dense, thick area. There's residences right behind that area. Hopefully they are checking Ring cameras and they are talking to people in those neighborhoods, because there's a big chance that Carlee or whoever did this to Carlee may have been captured on one of those Ring cameras. For all we know, Carlee could be in one of these homes. But whatever happened, it had to happen very quickly. And I mean, judging by the traffic cam footage that we're looking at, there is a steady stream of vehicles. It's not like this is a lonely road where, you might be the only person on the road. There is a steady stream of vehicles. So that would make me believe that whatever happened to her could have happened while people were literally just passing right on by. So that's very bold. You would think that professional traffickers would have created a better plan, but then again, sometimes just doing things out in the open, it kind of normalizes things and it makes people less suspicious. So, I mean, I think I'm just as confused here as all of you all. I, of course, have a lot of digging to do when it comes to this case. The theories are already going wild. There's already false leads being reported, and people are picking apart this footage like crazy already. I don't know if we're going to find anything within this grainy footage that is going to provide answers for what happened to Carlee, but there is more footage that we don't have access to yet. So maybe law enforcement knows a little bit more than we know they usually do, but it doesn't seem as if they know much. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead, start looking into this case a little more, and I'm going to leave you with the words of Carlee's family because they spoke out today, and I want you all to hear a little bit of what they have to say as well. Make sure you drop a comment down below. Share this video far and wide. This is the type of story that's not going to get the type of media coverage that a lot of these missing persons cases get. So share this video on every social media platform. Drop a thumbs up, hit that sub, hit that notification bell, and I'm going to leave you with the words of Carlee's family.
The last time any of the family spoke with her was about 9:36 when she was on the side of 459 and had spotted the little girl or boy that she said appeared to be 3 or 4 years old.
Would it have been out of character for her to stop for a child like that?
No, she's known to be
she has
helpful,
the biggest heart,
and she has a big heart, and she does know not to stop for anyone, even a child on the side of the road. But she did call 911, and I think she kind of let her guard down, thinking that they were so close. And when she got out the car, she did tell my daughter-in-law, "I can't just leave. I can't just leave this little child on the side of the road."
Kind of explain to us what made you guys come right here to Hoover Met and just kind of gather around and try to figure this thing out.
Okay, we decided to come here because we live in the Hoover area. We actually live 5 minutes from here, and we know a lot of our friends and family live close to the area or nearby. And since she was last seen on 459, we wanted to try to gather everybody that was willing to search in one place so we could get the search going.
Well, have you guys been calling organizations? I'm pretty sure a lot of groups.
Yes,
yeah,
we actually
we're reaching out to
rode
from, we have a lot of state organizations that are on this. That's why we want to keep applying the pressure to keep this thing going. We really want this to blow up. We want the word of the day to be Carlee. We just want to have her back home safe.